Hi, I recently watched Riddick, the 2012 latest installment in the adventures of Richard B. Riddick, the hero initially of Pitch Black in, I think it was 2001, and then spinning off into his own themed movie, The Chronicles of Riddick, in 2004. After a near decade-long break, the character finally returned, the previous film having been a somewhat unsuccessful mix of science fantasy and Clive Barker-esque uh, dark horror or something. But in Riddick, he's back to his roots. He's been deposed as Emperor of the Underverse and thrown out of a spaceship onto an inhospitable planet, so awful you can't even say it, and has to survive the various elements. And then two teams of bounty hunters who have been sent to collect him. Alongside them, he has to fight to stay off the planet, stay alive, and retain his freedom. And it's all very uninteresting. It was a film I wound up watching in several pieces. And it really did feel just like an episode of the Riddick TV show. It never justifies its length. It never justifies the interest that we might have in this character. I think the conclusion of the second film is making him Emperor of the Universe because of the arcane rules of the Underverse or the Soulmongers, the Necromongers, of course. Means that if you kill the Emperor, then that makes you Emperor. So Riddick gets pushed out of a spaceship. Um, and he has to fight the various creatures on the planet, and he tames one of them. The first hour is very boring as he just wanders around this moonscape. And then in the second hour, there are various other characters turning up, and they have their own plots, and they're all very uninteresting, and the actors are all very uninteresting, and there's really no reason to care about anything that you're watching. I'm very surprised that we're actually moving forward with the fourth film. I think it's been filmed by now, but Vin Diesel continues to be very popular with that one franchise that he keeps doing. He's a movie star in uh, the most concentrated sense, in that he makes a very limited number of films, a very limited style of films. He only plays three or four different characters now. In Riddick, we have Dom Toretto, we have the voice of Groot, and occasionally we have Xander Cage. And aside from those, I think he's made about six or seven other movies in his 25-year career. Um, he's a very limited actor. He worked in an ensemble in the first Pitch Black film. In Chronicles of Riddick, he surrounded himself with very talented people, so he was able to bring Judi Dench on board for a film that was a critical and commercial failure. And here, the biggest star in the cast that isn't him is either Karl Urban, who reprises his role for one scene, and I think has about 15 seconds of screen time, and is still building the opening titles, or Katee Sackhoff, one of the stars of the Battlestar Galactica TV reboot, in which she's excellent, and here doesn't get to do a great deal. She's basically reprising her Starbuck character. It's not a very good film. It's not a very engaging film. I don't think David Twohy needs to be doing this anymore. Vin Diesel doesn't need to be doing this anymore. He just really likes this character. But there's not really much else for the character to do, which suggests that he doesn't really know how to communicate what he finds so engaging about Riddick in a movie. Maybe he should try writing it himself. Maybe he has with the upcoming fourth film. But having been curious as to where the film could possibly go after the end of the second movie, I feel no such curiosity for the fourth.